Here's my short chat with Chris, an active dad whose body composition, energy levels and sleep changed dramatically through 12 weeks of one-to-one work with me. Chris also lost 4.6 kgs of excess body fat and dropped 8.5 centimetres from around his belly.
My name is Chris. I live in North Bristol, or South Gloucester. I'm a lead mechanical design engineer for a local engineering company. I'm 51 now. I've got 2 daughters, aged 7, 11, married, and yeah, that's it really.
What was your goal or your reason for signing up to work with me?
The goal was to lose fat, and the reason to sign up with you was to learn how to do that in a way that doesn't piss me off. I've tried before without any guidance, and it didn't work. It worked. I lost a load of weight, but it came back in more than I lost, really, because I did it in a silly way. And this program has taught me how to do it in a way that is sensible, doesn't change me emotionally, like doesn't make me angry, doesn't make me fed up, doesn't make me difficult to be around with my family and friends. But the end result is I am physically better.
Yeah.
In my mind, in my body, and people can notice now. People say that I look good, and people haven't said that I'm angry or pissed off in any way.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Cool. So what happened after you signed up? How did we kind of start the process?
We had a meeting to discuss how this would work and what you believed my daily calorie intake would be, which was fine. The shock was the protein. This is something that I've never really looked at before. People concentrate on calories. I think that's what the industry pushes. Mm-hmm. And you were the first person to say, well, no, it's pretty much all about the protein. And you said it would be very hard for me to hit my protein value, and you were right. But I've learned a lot about eating the right foods and snacks, because snacks are important, because sometimes a good snack can make the difference between having a good day or a bad day. And if that snack is a good high protein snack, then you're not offsetting on the calories and things.
And so I guess that might lead into the next question. So what was your biggest lesson from this whole process?
Yeah, learning about protein.
Yeah.
And real foods. So I don't really eat any processed food now. I haven't had any bread for probably about 10 weeks. I think during the first couple of weeks I was still eating sandwiches for lunch, but I stopped that, and I haven't eaten bread now for about 10 weeks.
Okay, that's interesting. That was something we didn't necessarily plan either, is it?
No, I just thought, wow, bread is quite a high calorie object, and it didn't seem to offer me anything that I wanted in terms of the protein value. So I was finding other things to eat at lunchtime for work, and my lunch times are now very different. I love my fruit. Apples and bananas are around about 100 calories each. But because I really like fruit, I don't want to give them up. But other things like what was it? The low-fat 𝗵𝗿𝗆𝗿. God, gorgeous, really nice. So I thought cheese would be off the menu, really. I really did. But then you told me about low-fat cheeses, which, to be fair, I would never have looked at. And now I've discovered them, and the kids like the low-fat cheese now. So that's a bonus. And cottage cheese, which was a bit of a funny one for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. The protein was the biggest lesson, and tracking things with the app helped keep me on track. Really, really did.
Yeah, the app's interesting, isn't it? Because it's a bit of an overhead at the start, but it's very useful because it shows you quite a lot of information, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good app to use. Took a while to get into it. I think the other thing was going away. Had a few sort of family trips during this process where you're away from your normal life and you're staying in a hotel, and they just serve rubbish. But you know, when you go out for a meal, luckily we like Asian food, which I know can be a little bit oily, but generally it's pretty good. Lots of meat and rice, which we like as a family. So yeah, going away was initially like scary, if that makes sense. Oh no, what am I going to do? It's all going to go off balance. But now I know what to do when I go away, and I know how to cope with it.
What's been the kind of best outcome or result from this whole thing?
I suppose knowledge of the process, and yeah, going down 2 notches on my belt and having to buy a new belt. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not quite at the stage where I need to buy new jeans because they're expensive. But yeah, clothing fits better. I've remained happy and healthy throughout the process. Whereas I stated before, I've tried this again and I was like pretty angry and pissed off, and that hasn't happened this time. So that's good. That's a good thing.
You think about the resources and sort of extra videos and things that are included with the program?
Yeah, all the resources are really good. I printed out a lot of stuff, the menus. We've made a few of the meals. We can't really do a lot of the cooking at the moment. Our kitchen's been destroyed, unfortunately. So we're sort of living out of an air fryer and a rice cooker. But the meals and what they offer, that pack was really useful, and we've looked through it as a family, and some of the kids have like picked out meals that they want to give a go, so we're going to really dive into that when we've got a new kitchen. And yeah, the one of the biggest things from your research was the the pentagram diagram thing of like where you were and where you are, and that shape changing. And that's a real visual thing. And I've printed quite a few of those, and my kids want to do it as well. So we might create some categories for them. Because you know, nothing to do with diet, but whatever, and see where they are, and then just put that away for a few months, and then get it out again and see where they are in a few months. So they want to do that as a bit of a game.
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea. Yeah, because like you said, it's a nice visual, quick indicator of progress as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So have you felt any other kind of knock-on effects or benefits or improvements in other areas from doing this process?
I think the biggest, aside from the goal of losing weight and being happy about it, the biggest improvement really would have been my sleep. I've suffered with sleep for many years, and perhaps through this process and my body behaving differently and better as a machine has improved my sleep. And for me, there's probably nothing more important for quite a long time than improving my sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this process has sort of kick-started a new era of better sleep for me.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I hope so, because that's it's really good to get that right, isn't it? So you feel benefits everywhere from getting that right. So thinking back to the start, how did you feel about investing that much money in yourself before starting?
It's one of those things, you know, when people pay for stuff, you know, large sums of cash changing hands, and people generally don't feel so good about doing that.
So
I always like to break things down into their sort of like actual value rather than a lump sum, because lump sums are quite scary. But when you break it down, it's actually not a lot of money, and the benefit and the knowledge and time spent with you, and it's been cool. So yeah, initially you think, oh, fair amount of cash, but when you think about it and you break it down, it's not.
And what do you think about that investment now that you finished?
It's good. Yeah, I'll probably try and equate it to pounds per kilo, as it were.
Okay.
Or whatever. But to be fair, like you've always said to me during my journey, it's probably different for all your clients. But because I'm physically active with the other sports I do, my muscle mass is always going to maintain a mass. So my scale weight has changed, and I have lost fat.
Yeah.
But I haven't lost muscle. So you know, to put a value on the fat I've lost per pounds in cash I've paid you, if it's possibly a little bit unfair, I think. But you know.
Yeah. No, but you feel that value and that difference anyway, hopefully. So that's
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. And then, so last question from me: how do you feel about moving forwards by yourself now that we're wrapping up?
I feel confident that I can maintain the dietary schedule that we've been doing, whilst having, you know, those, I think people call them cheat days, don't they? You know, like, oh, we're going to go out for a meal with the family or whatever, or drink a bottle of wine, and that doesn't bother me anymore because I know that I'm on target pretty much all week, every week.
Yeah.
And you know, we generally don't overindulge every weekend. It might be one weekend a month, and I'm not going to undo all this hard work. So I'm confident about that. I don't know if I'm truly alone because I come to your gym classes and you'll probably see changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy to move forwards with this journey.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you've done amazingly well. So congratulations to you, and thanks for investing and doing it with me.
Yeah, no, you're a cool guy. It's cool.
Yeah.